What's going on, my video viewing audience? This is Leonard Roy, and I tell you, typical slave, the typical slave mind, right? Just having a casual conversation, and I get the same answer I always get when having it. Something came across my Facebook feed. An old doggone, it's a bar in my old neighborhood, black owned, black operated, 100% black customer base. They done burned it all up and everything, right? I'm like, look at this shit. Look at this right here. This is in the black neighborhood, black owned, and they just tearing up shit. What's first thing happened? Oh, well, white folks out there doing that too. What the fuck does white folk doing have to do with this when there wasn't no white folk that burnt that up? Oh, see, why you hate your own people? That ain't got nothing to do with own people hatred. Black folks need to stop bringing up what white folks are doing to try to validate the stupid shit that they doing to make it right. Okay? Bottom line up front. Now to follow up, I was like, well, just because Jeffrey Dahmer had a fetish for, what he had a fetish for, I guess it's okay to just doggone keep people and eat them in your house, huh? So, white folk do it. No, I ain't saying that. I'm like, well, what you saying is stupid. And see, blacks are the first people to talk, you need to mind your business. But they can't mind their own business. Always talking about what white folk doing. Always talking about what white folk doing. So busy talking about what white folk doing that they can't handle their own business. Can't. So obsessed with, see, what white folk doing. I said, shit, well, you got a bunch of white folks, walking across the Brooklyn Bridge with Black Lives Matter doggone signs, and there's a gap in the gate, and they decide, let's just make a left and walk off this bridge. Oh, you gonna walk off the bridge with them too? Since, white folks doing it too. Oh, hell no. Okay, well, put that analogy into every damn thing else. Every time you talk about something that black folk is doing, is always blacks, not just one. Going to bring up what white folk doing. All the damn time. No matter what subject you bring up, they want to talk about white folks is doing it too. Unless it's something to do with being oppressed in America. Black folks talking about they oppressed in America. Oh, white folks ain't oppressed too. They won't talk about that, You got white folks on welfare. Don't talk about that, will they? You got white folks living in rural America. Kids ain't got no shoes. And the kids ain't worried about it because they just don't think they supposed to have shoes on when they outside playing. And that's what it is. Okay. That's just, we out here playing. Living in trailer parks. They got to go and retrieve water from someplace else to bring it to the trailer. Oh, they don't talk about that, do they? See? Stupid ass black people. They just think white folk just got to well off. Oh, you're white. You got money. You got this. You got... And this is urban black folk that ain't never been out that doggone bubble. Ain't seen nothing rural. Then the first one want to talk about white supremacists and the KKK and all this other shit. And they wouldn't know a white supremacist if it was laying on the ground during a riot and they tripped over. Well, white folk do it too. Yeah, white folk do it too. Okay. Since white folk do it too, let's talk about the fact that 80% of the white children in America are not doggone born out of wedlock, being raised by single parent, and then 40% or 50% of that number is instantly born into poverty. Let's talk about that. Okay? How about that one, right? Let's talk about it. 70% of black American women in the United States don't have a husband. Let's talk about that. That ain't the same for white women, is it? So if white folk doing that too? But that ain't talked about. No. They ain't talked about it all, right? But let it be some destructive, stupid shit, and somebody white doing the same shit. Oh, well, white folk doing it too. White folk get high too. What the fuck they got to do with black folk? And black folk are always the first one trying to tell somebody need to mind their business when they minding everybody else's business, and they even looking at their own business because they're too busy minding other people's shit. Peace.